with their names and all information current. They also then at council table have a redacted version, so it's redacted really as to name only for the privacy of the jurors. If at any time you wish to review again what the name is, for example, if defendant recognizes someone and says, I don't think that person should be there, and wonders what the name is, then certainly you can approach. I do have the list, and you're certainly welcome to review that at any time. We met in the back by stipulation. Pool sequence number 77, parole agent, will be dismissed at this time. Pool sequence 27, who is Michigan State Police Emergency Management and Homeland Security, is their manager. They're also dismissed by stipulation. And pool sequence 208, senior deputy court clerk with this court, is also dismissed by stipulation. Further, pool sequence 137 is dismissed by stipulation as a supervisor with the Ingham County Friend of the Court. I don't think we've had this many people who worked here at one time ever, but this was their day to get it. All right, and then we have finally 7, pool sequence number 7, police patrol sergeant also will be released per stipulation. Did I get them all?
That is all of them, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and there are further stipulations. Would you like to place those on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Currently on the felony information in the witnesses that the people plan on calling, there is an Officer Gage Brownell who we do plan on calling, but there is also an Officer Teresa Pressinger and Sergeant Sean Taylor. Both of those last 2 witnesses, the people do not plan on calling for purposes of trial. I've had a chance to talk to Attorney Tringle, and it is my understanding that she does not plan on calling either of them either. So there would be a stipulation to take those off of the witness lists, and we would be taking them off of subpoena as well.
That is accurate.
All right, so stipulated. And then there's a stipulation for sequestration of all witnesses.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Will you be having a lead detective with you or not?
The only officer I plan on calling, as I said, is Officer Brownell. He may sit in during opening and closing, so he would be the only one that we may.
Is there an objection to that?
No.
Great. And that concludes the preliminary matters, is that correct?
I believe so, Your Honor. There were some changes made to the jury instructions as well, but they were just merely typos.
That is correct.
Agreed.
All right, thank you. Anything else we need to address?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I believe we're ready for the jury.
Great. They can find out to retrieve them. We will first, before we question them, we'll call 14 in the jury box. I will swear them, and then people will start. Usually, as you know, I begin, but I don't see the need to do that in this case. It's really a simple matter. I don't feel the need that this is going to trigger or cause anyone to react in such a way that they ought to be out of here sooner than later. So I leave it in your capable hands.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll jump in when needed.
One more thing, Your Honor, just to place on the record, I believe there has been a stipulation that there will not be any video or mention of the fact that the defendant was ineligible for CPL at the time of the stop, although we have agreed that information about his CPL being expired is permitted.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, so stipulated, you both will take care of removing that or cutting off the video then, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything else we need to address?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then we will be off the record until the jurors are up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are you, Honor? You want to sit with me? Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Can we get an extra chair somewhere? You take
Yeah,
it.
we'll get one from the
Thank you. Just so you know, this is the insurance.
Yeah, you're
I
always,
wasn't sure if you guys had that. Yeah.
you're always welcome to do that. Let's just get an extra paper.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, he's always welcome to do that.
There you are.
Now it looks like we're surrounded by dream team.
He's running a prelim for me on Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm trying to get him as much experience as we can.
Yeah, that's good.
I have honey, they're not sugar free, but they're honey drops if you want any.
Oh, thanks. These next ones.
Oh, okay.
Let's go down.
Oh,
We should just go to teacher. Program like this.
Was that?
3 hours.
wow.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. But your docket on Wednesday is insane. It's like all final pre-trials. Don't those all have to go on the record?
It only take about 5 minutes usually. I know, it is insane. That's Wednesday.
I mean, and you get prepared for them too, so I feel your pain.
Hell, hell day.
Wednesday is just hell day.
That's what I call it. I go home crying.
And you know, I have weapons court too.
In the afternoon.
And I have civil crazy in that, before that. Civil people are just, I mean, They belong in criminal court.
I know.
Have you ever sat and watched them?
Yeah, I tried a civil case once
Well,
in front of Kennedy. Steve Sinus and I tried a civil case in front of Kennedy.
how was it?
Terrible. It was awful. I hated it.
When I was in practice, I didn't mind, but now, I mean, criminal's just so clean,
No. No.
really, overall. I mean, there's messy stuff and there's situations, but civil is just a nightmare. And then, you know, we get, because we're Hingham County, we get all the, like the environmental cases, all the attorney general cases.
Right.
Like, you gotta be kidding me. I have to know things about, I had, thankfully in the military, we had training in environmental and all these other things, because we had to. But, you know, I mean, I had a cemetery case. Thankfully, I had some background in that, but I mean, name the topic, I think they've covered it.
Good, Judge.
You ready?
Yep.
All right.
You guys compliant? Want to start filling up the seats?
All right, we're back on the record.
All rise. Both sides. Both sides, guys. One here, another one there. Go there. Right there. Okay.
Good morning. Thank you. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Rosemarie, Aquilina, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to the 30th Circuit Court for Hingham County. I know that jury duty may be a new experience for some of you. Jury duty is one of the most serious duties that members of a free society are asked to perform. Our system of self-government could not exist without it. The jury is an important part of this court. The right to a jury trial is an ancient tradition and part of our heritage. The law says that both the person who is accused of a crime and the prosecution have the right to a jury trial, not by one person, but by a jury of 12 impartial persons. Jurors must be as free as humanly possible from bias, prejudice, or sympathy for either side. Each side in a trial is entitled to jurors who keep open minds until the time comes to decide the case. At this time, I'm going to call 14 of you into the box. It'll relieve some of the congestion, although thankfully for this, you all have a seat. Now, I'm going to read these instructions and then council will have questions for you. The 14 of you seated in the box will be answering the questions with a yes, a no, not a nodding of the head or We need everybody who speaks to answer with a word that could be found in the dictionary, because the court reporter takes down words, not nods of heads, and if you forget, we will remind you. But as the 14 are in the box, the rest of you shouldn't think about what the weather's like, what you're making for dinner, you wish it were the weekend, all those other things that go through our heads. What I need you to do is to pay attention to the questions and think, how would I answer the question if I was asked that question by the lawyers? I have very good lawyers in front of me, and they have lots and lots of questions. If you think about how you would answer them, and then you realize there's something that if called into the box, you would want them to know, then counsel will say, did you listen to the questions? Did you hear any question where you think I might need to know something, and you'll engage in a conversation that way. There may be some questions they want to repeat, but if we do that, we're gonna be here a lot longer and you'll be dreaming about the questions because they'll have to ask them over and over and over again. So as you're called to replace someone who may be discharged, just make sure you make a mental note of what you want the lawyers to know. And it may be nothing, it may be something. At this time, we will start with juror seats, and also it's by order of the court, we use numbers, not names. So if you're not happy that we're not using your name, blame it on me, not either counsel. But I need you to make sure you have your pool sequence number out. Once you are in that box, the jury box, you will go from your pool sequence number to being called jurors 1 through 14. And you'll always return to that seat unless you're discharged. As to juror seat 7.
Pool sequence 35, juror seat 7.
Juror seat 6.
Pool sequence 34, juror seat 6.
5.
Pool sequence 21, juror seat 5.
4.
Pool sequence 79, juror seat 4.
3.
Pool sequence 103, juror seat 3.
2.
Pool sequence 116, juror seat 2.
'Hang on, we shouldn't have 2, we don't have 1. Oh, we're missing 2.
Yeah, they're missing a chair up there. Right.
There's a chair here, there's 6 is right here. 6,
Move
yeah,
down.
5, 4, 3. Let's give us scoot down 1. 2 was 116 and 1 was 38. Juror seat 2 is 116. You 116, ma'am?
No.
Okay,
I said
then,
juror 2. I thought she's number 2.
no, she said juror seat 2 is
Yeah.
116.
Yeah.
No, juror seat 2 is 11, full sequence 116, no, ma'am, full sequence 116 is in number 2,
Oh,
so you're good,
so I can go back.
yes.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, we didn't call 1 yet.
38, yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Juror seat 14.
Pool sequence 126, juror seat 14.
Juror seat 13.
Pool sequence 55, juror seat 13.
12.
Pool sequence 56, juror seat 12.
Juror seat 11.
Pool sequence 3, juror seat 11.
Juror seat 10.
Pool sequence 129, juror seat 10.
Juror seat 9.
Pool sequence 5, juror seat 9.
Juror seat 8.
Pool sequence 26, juror seat 8. Missing 10.
10 is
Yeah,
129. Juror seat 10 is 129.
That's correct.
Juror 129.
They were yes in the hall, what happens out there?
129.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You are 129. All right. You're juror seat 10. All right, the trial begins with jury selection. The purpose of this process is to obtain information about you that will help us choose a fair and impartial jury to hear this case. During jury selection, the lawyers and I will ask you questions. This is called voir dire. The questions are meant to find out if you know anything at all about this particular case. Also, we need to find out if you have any opinions or personal experiences that might influence you for or against the prosecution, defendant, or any witness. One or more of these things could cause you to be excused in this particular case, even though you may be otherwise qualified to serve as a juror. The questions may probe deeply into your attitudes, beliefs, and experiences. They are not meant to be an unreasonable prying into your private life. The law requires we obtain this information so that an impartial jury can be chosen. If you do not hear or understand a question, please say so. If you do understand the question, please answer it truthfully and completely. Please do not hesitate to speak freely about anything you believe we should know. So if counsel or I do not ask you something, but you think it's important that we know something, please speak up. During jury selection, you may be excused from serving on the jury in one of two ways. First, I may excuse you for cause. That is, I may decide there's a valid reason why you cannot or should not serve on this particular jury trial. Or a lawyer from one side or the other may excuse you without giving any reason at all for doing so. This is called a peremptory challenge. The law gives each side the right to excuse a certain number of jurors in this way. If you're excused, please don't feel badly or take it personally. As I explained, there simply may be something that causes you to be excused from this particular case. The restrictions I'm about to describe are meant to ensure that the parties on each side receive a fair trial. In our judicial system, it's crucial that jurors are not influenced by anything or anyone outside the courtroom. Under the law, the evidence you consider must meet certain standards. For example, witnesses must swear to tell the truth and the lawyers must be able to cross-examine them. Because information obtained outside the courtroom does not have these safeguards, it could give you incorrect or misleading information that might unfairly favor one side or the other. These restrictions continue until I discharge you from jury service. It is your duty as a juror to decide this case based solely on the evidence you see and hear in this courtroom. You must not consider information that comes from anywhere else. This means that until you deliver your verdict, you must not read, watch, listen to, or receive any information, including opinions or commentary about the case, whether in newspapers, on television, the radio, the internet, or on social media platforms. You also must not research any aspect of the case during the trial. This means research using a cellular phone, computer, AI, or other electronic device to search the internet, as well as research with traditional sources like dictionaries, reference manuals, newspapers, or magazines. In a few minutes, I will be reading an instruction that lists the names of defendant, counsel, witnesses. We have on occasion, and we'll take a break if this lingers on too long, but we'd like to get jury selection done this morning. We have on occasion had someone who wants to know more. And they take their cell phone or iPad, whatever they have with them out in the hall, and the names that we call out and defendant's name, they start searching the Lansing State Journal and other things. Do not do that. I don't get police reports. I try not to read about cases that end up in front of me. I know how to leave whatever I know outside the courtroom and make my decisions on what is being presented by counsel. Counsel needs to be able to cross-examine witnesses and evidence. You cannot have any extra knowledge. I never know what case is reported on and what case is not. So please don't do any research. Don't Google any names. Don't do anything, because that causes lots of problems. So I say this because these instructions are written by the Supreme Court. They really need to be updated because of AI and because of other things like the problems that I've seen. So from time to time, I just go on my own and tell you the problems and advise you to please not do them. You must not investigate the case on your own or conduct any experiments concerning the case, including investigation or experiments using the internet, cellular phones, computers, or other electronic devices. You must not visit the scene of any event at issue in this trial. If it would become necessary for you to view or visit the scene, court staff will take you there as a group under court supervision. You must not consider as evidence any personal knowledge you may have about the scene. You must not share any information about the case by any means, including cellular phones or social media. This means that even if you are not discussing the case with someone else, you may not post any information about the case on social media, websites, or in any other manner. If you discover a juror has violated my instructions, please report it to court staff or me at once. In a moment, I will ask you to stand and raise your right hand and swear to answer truthfully, fully, and honestly all the questions you'll be asked about your qualifications to serve as a juror in this case. If you have religious beliefs against taking an oath, you may instead affirm that you will answer all the questions truthfully, fully, and honestly. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truthfully and completely answer all questions about your qualifications to serve as jurors in this case? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. Regarding that, my law clerk, Brian Ray, he's also my court officer. He's the go-to person if you have any questions, you want to know the length of the trial, where the restrooms are, the parking, good restaurants, whatever, he will be able to answer those questions. My court reporter is my silent partner, Nancy Ranke. She stays silent unless you talk too fast, she can't hear you, you are mumbling, you're saying, those kinds of things. So she makes a really good record. It's her job to make the record of what happens in this courtroom. When we all leave the building, the only thing that's left is the record that she is making. So it has to be clear and accurate. So I need you to speak loud. I need you to speak up and in words that can be found in a dictionary. Nicole Smith, you probably won't generally see her, but if you are chosen, you'll be coming through the door that's in between the courtrooms, and so she's the one that's going to answer the buzzer. If you were to call Mike Chambers, she's the one that generally answers the phone. She is also someone that can answer your questions. And my deputy clerk, Ramiro Guerrero, he is keeping track of all of you. He has a lot of paperwork responsibilities with this court, and he does an exceptional job. It's important that as you stand up, those of you in the back, if you want us to know something, and of course, counsel will be identifying in the box who they're speaking to, because he keeps track of all of you. And just so you know how important it is that you are here, there are always people who do not show up for jury duty. So what happens to them? Well, a bench warrant will be issued. They get an Uber sheriff ride over to the hotel in Mason, where they'll wear a jumpsuit maybe for a couple of days till we get to them. They're brought before a judge, given a hefty fine, and then they still have to do their jury duty. That's how important your presence is here, so thank you for showing up and being part of this. And it's Ramiro's job to keep track of all of you, so especially, we know who the 14 are in the box, but especially in the back there, if we talk to you, ask you something, or you raise your hand with a question or whatever, I need you to first give me your pool sequence numbers so we know who we're talking to and we know who's released. This is a criminal case involving the charges of weapons carrying concealed. These charges have been made against defendant who is John Magola. Defendant's lawyer is Amanda Tringle. Also seated at counsel table are two assisting attorneys, and she will name them for you in just a moment. The lawyer for the state of Michigan is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Bart Buxton. Mr. Buxton, please stand, introduce yourself and any potential witnesses you may call in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hello, everyone. My name is Bart Buxton, and I am one of the prosecutors in the county prosecutor's office. The witness that we'll be calling for trial is Officer Gage Brownell with the Lansing Township Police Department. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Tringle, please stand and introduce yourself and defendant, those seated at counsel table, and if you will be calling any additional witnesses, please name them.
Good morning, I'm Amanda Tringle. This is my client, Mr. John Magula.
Sir, if you could stand and so everyone can see you. Turn around so they can see you. Thank you.
Also at counsel table is defense attorney Robert Palmer and Nicholas Mitchell.
Thank you. Now, does anyone know defendant, any of the lawyers or any witness named? If so, please raise your hand. Being no hands raised, all right. We think this trial will last 1 to 2 days. So today we're going to do selection and we'll release you to go about your business, but not talk about the case or do any research. Tomorrow we will start probably about 9:15 by the time we get everything together. So we'll be here 9:15 until 4:30, possibly 5 o'clock. And then in the event we don't have a verdict because there is no time limit on your deliberations. And I've had juries deliberate for an hour. I've had juries deliberate for 5 days. So I have no idea how long it will take you in your deliberations, and there's absolutely no time limit. If you believe the length of trial will be a real hardship for you, please let me know. Anyone in the jury box? See no hands raised. Anyone on this side of the room? Yes, please stand. What is your jury number?
Number 78.
And what's the issue?
Well, I do everything. I have a 92-year-old uncle that I take care of and run back and forth to VA hospital in Battle Creek, Ann Arbor, Lansing. And he's got 3 appointments this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On top of that, I also have a handicapped son that's gotta go to Ann Arbor on Wednesday.
Okay. Any objection, counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, sir, you're released. However, all of you who are released will still need to call the jury hotline. And if this happens again, sir, what you need to do is probably get some medical documentation and give it to the jury clerk so you're excused from jury service for a year or 2.
Okay.
Okay, or simply reschedule so you can get coverage for your family. All right?
Fine.
So you're released for today, but please continue to talk, to call the jury hotline. If you would like to talk to the jury clerk, you can go back downstairs and talk to her and see what you want to do about the rest of the week. I don't know if any other judges has or has not decided to have a jury trial this week. I don't know their schedule, so I don't know if you'll be called in, okay? All right. Anyone else? How about over on this side of the room? Okay, see, doing hands raised. I understand that jury duty is an inconvenience, and we appreciate you being here. As I said, it is very, very important, and we do appreciate it. I want you, as we ask our questions, to think about if someone you know, someone you love, someone in your family, yourself, if for some reason you ended up in court, would you want someone like you to be on the jury? If you have a reason not to serve, I want to hear about it, but it has to be something more than just an inconvenience. Now, some of you may have health problems that might prevent you from serving on the jury. For example, does anyone have a medical problem that makes it difficult for you to sit for about 1.5 to 2 hours at a time? We generally take a morning break, an afternoon break, sometimes more often depending on what's going on. So about every 1.5 to 2 hours. I don't like to break up testimony if I don't have to. We will take a break. Is there anyone, for whatever reason, you have a medical issue that you can't sit for that long? Anyone in the jury box? Oh, on this side of the room. On this side of the room. Please stand and give me your jury sequence number.
113,
And what's the issue?
I've got 2 surgeries on my back.
Okay, so are you on medication?
No, I don't take medication,
Okay.
I'm confused.
Is,
But I
okay,
also have 3 herniated discs.
okay, so it's tough for you to sit. All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused, sir. Anyone else? Okay. So can everyone see around the courtroom? Can you all hear me? Is there anyone who might, I've had people who want to serve, but they have to wear Depends, and sometimes that becomes a real problem for everyone else around them. I had a woman here with a morphine drip. She had cancer, she wanted to serve, but she was taking morphine. There are medications that people take that don't allow you to sleep at night, or make you drowsy in the morning because you didn't sleep, or just make you drowsy in general. I don't know, I'm not gonna go through all the list of things, because I think you know what I'm talking about just by that. So if there is anyone that has any medical or physical problem, takes medication, anything that would make this difficult for you to sit through and to pay attention, please let me know in the jury box. Seeing no hands raised on this side of the courtroom. Yes, sir, please stand and give me your number.
Number 80, I work overnights.
No, you don't.
Unfortunately, I do. I work from 7 p.m. to 10 a.m. normally, so.
No. Well, that may very well be your job.
It's unfortunately very difficult for me to switch my sleep schedule. So,
Okay, that's a different issue. So those of you, I mean, your third shift was gonna be my next question. So third shift, does anybody else besides this gentleman work third shift? Okay, please stand. You can't work third shift. I've had people say, I wanna serve, and they work third shift, and then they come to court and they fall asleep. So, sir, you work third shift,
correct.
and you've been doing that for how long?
A little over 5 years.
So, when do you sleep?
Normally, I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay, and so what you're telling me is you can't break that pattern, and so you'd be in here falling asleep.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's fairly difficult right now for me to stay awake. I was falling asleep in the jury room downstairs.
Did you drive here?
No, I got it right.
Okay, good. Any objection on behalf of the people?
No objection.
On behalf of the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so, sir, as I told the other gentleman, you should reschedule, get a doctor's note, some kind of something, because especially once you're called, it seems that people are called again. I recently had a woman who served 3 previous times in my courtroom and got selected a 4th time. So I see her probably almost every other year. So see if you can make some arrangements or get a doctor's slip or something, so you're not put in this position, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're excused.
What's this number again?
Number 80.
Thank you.
80.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, 80, okay. And ma'am in the striped shirt, what's the issue?
I don't have any issue, I just work third shift.
Well, you can't work third shift and stay awake here. Are you gonna be able to? And also, for anybody who thinks you can be fired for doing jury duty instead of your employment, you cannot. And I did have a doctor's office who, the manager of the doctor's office fired the person who works there because of jury duty. She filed suit against the doctor. Guess what the jury decided? She got a really nice settlement. Okay, so you cannot be fired, but I do need you to stay awake. So you need to sleep tonight and then get up in the morning and do this. Are you like the other gentleman or are you good to go?
No, I'm good to go.
We need your number.
And what was your number?
120.
And so are you planning to sleep or work tonight?
I'll sleep.
Sleep's the right answer, ma'am. I can't have you falling asleep during trial, okay?
Okay.
And are you able to sleep despite working third shift?
Every now and then.
All right, you may have a seat. Sir, what is your number?
I don't even know what my number is, they gave me this.
Brian, could you help me please? Yeah, we need to know because,
00031.
31, okay? And what is the issue, sir? You work third shift?
Yes,
So can you not work tonight and show up tomorrow?
I'm scheduled to work tonight.
Uh-huh. And when do you sleep?
I usually go to bed no later than 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, usually.
So are you able to not go to work tonight, sleep and be on jury duty tomorrow?
I'm not able to do that, I would have to call my job.
Well, yeah, you have jury duty. Y'all have jury duty. That is, again, you get arrested if you don't show up. So I appreciate you showing up, but you can't work third shift and then show up here. So will your sleep schedule allow you to work? Or go to sleep tonight and then be here tomorrow? Or like the other gentleman, is that a problem for you?
Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. I haven't even gone to bed yet. I got to work at 7 o'clock this morning. I haven't even gone to bed yet.
On behalf of the people?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're released, but again, you have to call the jury hotline every night, and maybe you want to get some kind of letter out. Because otherwise you're gonna be called every year, okay?
Okay.
And some judges will let you out and some, like myself and counsel here, but some will not let you out, sir, okay? All right, thank you. Anyone over on this side of the room? Okay, thank you. Does anybody have religious belief that only God can pass judgment and what we do in court is not right? Or will you all be able to, I know there are some people who work in the church, many of you may attend church. I don't know the status, but usually there are people who say, I can't make a decision against my fellow man, that I leave that up to God. Is there anyone who feels that way, so that you cannot serve for religious reasons? In the jury box, seeing no hands on this side of the room. Seeing no hands on this side of the room, seeing no hands. All right, very good. This is a criminal case. The paper used to charge the defendant with the crime is called an information. The information in this case charges defendant John Magola and reads as follows. The people of the state of Michigan versus John Joseph Magola. That on or about April 19th, 2025, in the township of Lansing County, Bingham, state of Michigan, at a specific location known as Lake Lansing Road and New York Avenue in Lansing Township, County of Bingham, state of Michigan, defendant did carry a dangerous weapon, to wit, a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise in a vehicle operated or occupied by defendant, to wit, a Honda Odyssey. This is contrary to the laws of the state of Michigan. Defendant has pled not guilty to this charge. You should clearly understand that the information I've just read is not evidence. And information is read in every criminal trial so that defendant and jury can hear the charges. You must not think it is evidence of his guilt or that he must be guilty because he has been charged. A person accused of a crime is presumed to be innocent. This means that you must start with the presumption that defendant is innocent. This presumption continues throughout the trial and entitles defendant to a verdict of not guilty unless you are satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that he is guilty. Every crime is made up of parts called elements. The prosecutor must prove each element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant is not required to prove his innocence or to do anything at all. If you find that the prosecutor has not proven every element beyond a reasonable doubt, then you must find defendant not guilty. A reasonable doubt is a fair, honest doubt growing out of the evidence or lack of evidence. It is not merely an imaginary or possible doubt, but a doubt based on reason and common sense. A reasonable doubt is just that. It is a doubt that is reasonable after a careful and considered examination of the facts and circumstances of this case. On behalf of the people, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hello, everyone. As I said, I'm Bart Buxton, I'm the prosecutor, and I'm gonna be asking you some questions. That's, like Judge said, this is the voir dire process, and I'll just be asking some questions to make sure that you would be a good fit for serving as a juror in this type of case. So I want to ask a couple of preliminary questions first. Anyone sitting in the box, have you ever been a juror previously? Bunch of shaking head. Raise your hand if you have a yes to my questions, if I'm asking everybody. Perfect. So welcome. We will try to make this as easy and painless for you all as possible. Does anyone on the juror have any friends or family members that are in law enforcement? Juror number 14, who do you know?
I have several family members who are in law enforcement, my father, grandfather, a couple of my uncles.
Are they here in this county or are they somewhere else in the state or the country?
Somewhere, they're all in Michigan, nobody in England.
Okay. Would that affect your ability at all to remain fair and impartial in this case?
I don't believe so, no.
Do you talk to your family members about their jobs at all?
Not too often.
Juror number 7, I see your hands raised as well. What family members do you have in law enforcement?
One, but it's not in this town, but in the state.
Okay. Do you talk to them about their job? Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all? Okay. Have any of you ever been in court, either for civil or criminal matters? I don't see any hands raised. Okay. Glad to hear. So, as you heard from the judge, this is a case that's going to be involving carrying a concealed weapon. So what I would like to know, is anyone in the jury a gun owner? You could raise your hand if you're a gun owner. Okay, I see number 8, number 10, number 11, and number 7. Juror number 7, what type of gun do you have? Do you have a CPL or a concealed gun permit? No. Okay. Well, you heard this is a case that's going to be involving a firearm. Does your experience or knowledge of firearms affect your ability to be fair and impartial in this case? Juror number 8, you said that you own, what kind of guns do you own?
I have pistols, rifles, shotguns.
Do you have a CPL or a concealed gun permit?
Yep.
Okay. Would your knowledge and experience with guns affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all in this case?
I don't think so.
Juror number 9, you said that you own guns as well?
Yeah, I have a Smith & Wesson, I'm not really sure what it is, handgun, husband on the awesome.
Understood. Do you have a CPL or a concealed gun permit?
I do.
Okay. And would your knowledge or experience of guns affect your ability to be fair and impartial at all in this case?
No.
And you're number 11, you said that you have guns as well?
Yes,
What type?
I have a pistol, a Beretta 925.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Pistol, a Beretta,
And do you have a CPL?
yes.
Would your experience or knowledge of guns affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
It would not.
Okay. Now, you're all gonna receive, you've already received some instructions from judge, but you're going to receive additional instructions from the judge. And she is going to state that you are to follow the law and to follow the rules as she gives them to you. Does everyone agree to do that? Everyone can shake their head if this, okay. Juror number 2. Let's say the judge were to give you a rule or instruction that you didn't necessarily like. Would you still be able to follow that instruction? Yes. Okay. And then that question then goes to everyone. Would everyone be able to follow an instruction even if you may not necessarily agree or like that instruction?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, as I had said, you're going to be hearing from an Officer Brownell. Officer Brownell is actually a third shift police officer. And as you heard from some of the other people that were actually here on the jury that were third shift, that may affect their ability to be able to sleep. So Mr. Brownell may be a little tired when he goes up on the stand because he's actually going to be working tonight. Does that affect anyone's ability? And does everyone agree to take that in consideration when listening to Mr. Brownell's testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Now, who all here watches shows like Law and Order or CSI or crime procedurals? Juror number 4, how long are those episodes usually?
I want to say about 40 or so minutes.
Oh,
20 to
okay.
40 depending on the show.
And you've already been here more than 40 minutes, is that fair to say? This process can be a lot longer than it is on a TV show, is that fair?
Yes.
And sometimes what you see on TV isn't always realistic. Sometimes they do fictional things, or there's some kind of crazy slick technology that may be in TV, but it's not in real life. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And everyone else agree that those shows are fiction, they're not real life. Yes. And does everyone agree to not hold me to an unfair standard of fiction or TV shows and just take the evidence and face it in reality? Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Okay,
Verbiage to reflect all persons who say yes.
thank you. Now, as the judge stated, each crime is made of parts called elements. And those elements are what me, as the prosecutor, have to prove to you all beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'd like to kind of explain what those elements are in a little bit more detail. This is going to be a little bit of a silly question, but who all has eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before? Juror number 13. What are the parts or the elements of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Bread, peanut butter, and jelly.
Perfect. So, just like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, there are different elements of the crime. There's actually going to be 3 elements in this crime as well, just like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you're going to need to look for and listen for all of those elements. Do you all understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm hearing everyone say yes. Now, my family ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly growing up, but my younger brother was kind of a picky eater. And he would say that a PB&J isn't a real PB&J unless there was white bread. But my mom, being a little bit healthier, a little bit of a healthier person, would actually make the sandwiches with wheat bread instead of white bread. So my brother would say, ew, that's not a PB&J, I don't want to eat that. On juror number 13, you didn't specify what type of bread. It's fair to say that any type of bread would be in a PB&J. Okay. So just like in our case, we're looking at the elements as they are. We're not adding anything, we're not taking anything away, looking at the elements as they are. So does everyone agree to follow the instructions as they are and not be a picky eater like my brother? Yes. Okay, everyone's saying yes. Now, I've said this term, and Judge has already said it, but proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It is my job to prove this crime to you all beyond a reasonable doubt. And because of how important that is and how kind of technical it is, I want to read the instruction that the judge has already said. And it states that a person accused of a crime is presumed to be innocent. This means you must start with the presumption that the defendant is innocent, and the presumption continues throughout the trial and entitles the defendant to a verdict of not guilty unless you are satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. Does everyone understand that? Yes. Everyone's saying yes. Now, in regards to reasonable doubt, you're going to hear the judge say that a reasonable doubt is a fair and honest doubt growing out of the evidence or lack of evidence. It's not merely an imaginary or possible doubt, but a doubt based on reason and common sense. Does everyone understand that? Yes. So juror number 6. Do you believe, well, I guess I'll ask this first. Did I say beyond a reasonable doubt or beyond all doubt? Okay, correct. So do you have to be 100% certain of the defendant's guilt to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt? No. Okay, and that's correct. Because as I said, there's always imaginary or possible doubts. The doubts have to be reasonable if you have them. Does everyone understand that? Okay. So I want to talk about 100% certainty for a second. Juror number 6, what is something you are 100% certain of?
I'm sitting right here.
Okay, so so does everyone agree that they're 100% certain that are sitting in a jury box in the middle of a trial right now?
Yes.
And see everyone shake their head yes. Has anyone in the jury seen the show called Jury Duty on Amazon Prime? No. Juror number 5, could you please explain to everyone the premise of that show?
Is that the one where it's a fake trial and they basically kidnap this guy and hold him hostage for a week for a trial?
Kidnapping is kind of a strong term, but essentially, yes. So they get an individual who believes they're actually sitting on a jury. They have them come into a real court. They have them believe that they're actually part of a real criminal case, but every single other person is an actor. All of the jurors, the attorneys, the defendant, even the judge, everyone is an actor, and everyone is pretending to be part of a trial, and this person's just not in on it. So you're basically following this person and the crazy things that happen. So juror number 5, it's possible something is happening like that right now, but it's not reasonable. Is that fair to say? So is everyone still 100% certain that they're sitting in a courtroom right now?
Yes.
Okay. So it's always possible that these kinds of things happen, but it's not reasonable. And you have to take reasonableness into consideration. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now, another instruction the judge is going to read to you all is going to be defining what evidence is. And there are 2 types of evidence. There is direct evidence and there is circumstantial evidence. So direct evidence is evidence that we can actually see or hear. So for instance, let's say instead of a TV screen right there, there was a window outside and you could see snow falling down. That is direct evidence that it is snowing outside. However, there is circumstantial evidence, And that is evidence that normally or reasonably leads to other facts. So let's say that there was a juror that came in late and they run in really quickly. And their clothes are all wet and they're bundled up in a scarf and they've got a coat on, but it's all wet and soggy. That is circumstantial evidence that was snowing outside. Because based off of what he was wearing and him being drenched, that reasonably leads to the fact that it's snowing outside. Does everyone understand the difference between those two?
Yes.
Juror number 14. The judge is going to state that circumstantial evidence is still evidence that you can consider in your determination when making your decision. Do you understand that?
Yes,
And you agree to follow that instruction?
absolutely.
Okay. Because there's always another possible, let's talk about the circumstantial evidence, for example. That person that came in that was soaking wet, there's always other reasons why that person may be wet. But it reasonably leads to the fact, based off of you coming in outside, you seeing it snowing outside, it's reasonable based off the circumstances.
Yes.
Understood? Okay. So does everyone agree with and understand the difference between direct and circumstantial evidence?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you are ultimately picked to be a jury for this case, you're going to hear my opening statements. You'll hear the defense opening statements if they plan to make one. You'll hear witnesses, you'll hear closing arguments, and you'll hear the judge's instructions. And after all of that, you're going to go back to the jury deliberation room, and you're all going to have to work together to come to a unanimous decision. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Juror number 10. Let's say you end up getting picked as a juror in this case. And let's say you go back to the room, and let's say it's 4:55 on Tuesday. So it's near the end of the day, and let's say you have a different decision than everyone else here in the room. And they're all pushing you to change your decision, saying, come on, just change your decision so we can go home. Is that going to change your decision that easily?
I have this is the English, I not more.
You have a problem with English?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you understood everything that I've said up to this point?
Sometimes I can I still, but sometimes what you talk fast.
Sometimes I talk too fast and the words are a bit too big.
Sir, would it be difficult for you to sit through the trial and understand everything? I think we'll release you, sir. Any objection?
I would agree, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, you're excused, and you might want to see the jury clerk. Okay. But you'll have to keep continuing the hotline, do you understand, for this week? Could you call, you'll have to keep calling the phone number for the 1 week. Yes. So call the jury hotline. How you got here? You called the phone number?
My son.
Your son, okay. So for 1 week, you have to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
At any time or
Just after 5 o'clock.
after?
After 5, you call until Friday, through Friday.
Probably get pulled in on Friday since we're picking on Friday. I said he'll probably get pulled in on Friday since we're picking on Friday.
I don't know, yeah. No, well, yeah, we'll look for that.
Thank you, Juror number 10.
All right, as to juror seat 10,
Full sequence, 1:30, juror seat 10.
you. Counsel, you may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before we continue, juror number 10, I've asked a lot of questions already. Is there anything that you would have answered one way or were confused about something that I had talked about? No. Do you have any guns?
I do.
Okay. Well, what type of guns do you own?
I own one gun, 380.
Okay. And do you have a CPL?
It has expired.
Okay. And would your knowledge and experience of guns affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Have you served on a jury before?
No.
Have you had to be in a courtroom for any reason?
No.
Okay. What capacity?
I believe it was for
You were part of the
financial
same case, was that, is it a party, as a witness?
as a it was like a collections thing.
Oh, okay,
It came out of nowhere and I had paperwork.
okay. Was that here in this county?
It's
How long ago was it?
September
Okay,
and it's resolved.
okay, and that's good to hear. Was that in front of Judge Aquilina?
No,
Okay.
it was in Mason, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, so it was in the district court, yeah. Okay. Would anything about that experience affect your ability to remain fair and impartial? Okay. And just because juror number 10 had an issue, I want to go by one. Juror number 1, have you understood all of my questions?
Yes,
Okay. Juror number 2, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 3, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 4, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 5, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 6, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 7, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 8, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 9, have you understood all my questions? I already asked you juror number 10, so juror number 11, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 12, you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Juror number 13, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
And juror number 14, have you understood all my questions?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, juror number 10, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked the last juror number 10. Let's say you take this part of the jury, and you are in the jury room, and you have made a decision different than everyone else in the jury. And everyone is pushing and pressuring you to make a different decision, just so you can get out of here and get home. Is that going to sway your opinion that easily?
No.
Okay. And I'm glad to hear that, because we want to make sure that everyone stands to their decisions and changes their decision only if there is a reasonable argument and the evidence stands for that. So juror number 1, do you understand that? And do you agree to hold to your decision?
I do.
Juror number 2, same question.
Yes.
Juror number 3?
Yes.
Juror number 4?
Yes.
Juror number 5? Juror number 6?
Yes.
Juror number 7?
Yes.
8? 9?
Yes.
11?
Yes.
12?
Yes.
13?
Yes.
14?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, I have gone over a lot of different questions, but raise your hand if you believe that there is any reason that we have not discussed that would disqualify you from being a juror. Okay, I don't see any hands. Give me one moment. Juror number 13, how are you employed?
Business owner.
What kind of business?
It's called Lansing Mom. It's a resource for moms in the Lansing area,
Oh, okay. How long have you been doing that?
since 2022.
Very cool. Anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
What was the answer? No.
Thank you. Sorry, everything's being recorded, so we've got to be very vocal with our answers. Number 12, how are you employed? How long have you been a therapist?
License?
Yes.
Last month.
Okay, congratulations. Have you had any experience with the criminal justice system in regards to your position? Anything?
Yes,
Okay, in what capacity?
I had to petition the client to go on vacation.
Okay,
Does that count?
yes, I appreciate that. And how long ago was that?
November, December.
Okay. Anything about that experience affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Okay. Juror number 4, how are you employed?
I work at Sam's Club and curbside pickup,
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
just over a year, since January of 2025.
Good to hear. Anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
No.
Juror number 10, how are you employed?
I'm a therapist,
How long have you been a therapist?
9 years. This will be my 10th.
Congrats. How long, well, I guess, as I asked juror number 12, have you had any experience with the criminal justice system as a result of your job?
Yes.
In what capacity?
In my current role, I work as a intake provider for community mental health. And we also are partnered with the court team, for the people who are petitioned. We are within the same department. And so some of those individuals that are court ordered, I will have to assess and determine the level of care. And the other team monitors the court order.
Understood. Is there anything about that experience that will affect your ability to remain fair and impartial? And have you been doing that for 9 years, or have you been doing that for less?
No, 5 years as the art assessor, and then our team.
5 years in total.
It's called art assessor, it's like assessment of frozen. But I believe they developed the court order team. 2 years ago.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And then I've had to petition people throughout that 9 years.
And then do you know anyone here in the court room?
I do one.
Who do you know?
The-
And how long have you known her?
year, and it was like,
Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all in this case?
No.
Okay. One final question. Has anyone ever had any interactions with police, whether that be good or bad? Juror number 2. Good experience, bad experience?
I wouldn't say.
Or neutral.
Yeah, I would say other experiences that are good. I was getting my kids daycare, just going a little fast around to school without seeing the light blinking.
Understood. Understood. How long ago was that?
Last year sometime, so almost a year, 10 months, somewhere around there.
Was that here in this county?
Yes.
Do you know if that was Lansing Township, Lansing Police? Do you know what branch?
No, it should be the one that's stationed right next to the Waverly School.
Oh, okay, okay. Anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
No.
Okay. Juror number 3, I think you raised your hand as well. Good, bad, neutral?
I mean, I'd say it was good. Anything bad that came from it.
Okay.
I was just picking up my brother-in-law from the bar when he had a little bit too much, but there's nothing bad happened, they just called him out.
Understood. How long ago was that?
Last summer,
Do you
in
remember?
June.
Do you remember what branch that was?
I think it was just Lansing Police Department,
Oh,
just
okay.
regular.
Understood. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all?
No.
Okay. Juror number 4, I think you raised your hand as well. Good, bad, neutral?
Neutral, I was pulled over for, expired tags on my car, just given the ticket, but that was on me.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
I believe July or August of 2024.
Do you remember what department?
Lansing Department.
Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
No.
You heard we're calling the police officer. Are you going to give any more or less weight based off of that decision? No. Okay. Juror number 5, I think you raised your hand as well.
Yeah, I would say neutral.
Okay. And how long ago was it?
Well, I'm a high school special education teacher and the LPD occupies the like ground floor of my high school.
Understood.
So in passing, I say hello, but there's no real interaction.
Understood. Would anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
No.
Okay. Juror number 6, I think you raised your hand as well. Good, bad, neutral?
Neutral.
Okay.
Trash.
How long ago was that?
10 and 12 years ago, respectively.
Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Juror number 7, I think you raised his hand as well. Neutral. How long ago? Okay. That affects your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Okay. Number 8, I don't think you raised your hand. Juror number 9, I think.
We did not go over Terry when my son was born. So that would be 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That was for, they sent tabs, my tabs were expired in her case. They didn't do anything.
Understood. Would you say that good, bad, neutral?
Neutral.
Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all? Okay. Juror number 10, you raised your hand.
As part of employment, so like having to do with court orders and when I worked in crisis services, had to go and they had, came to assess their public situation.
Understood. Would anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial? Okay. Juror number 12, I think you raised your hand.
I did.
Oh, sorry, I meant 11. I apologize. 11.
Speed tickets, and I worked for a police department for about 2.5 years.
Okay. In what capacity?
I ran the IT systems.
Would anything about that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
No.
No. Juror number 12. Now, sorry.
That's okay. During my petition, I had to deliver a pickup order. Lansing Police Department, I had a few phone calls from officers calling me at work, and then at the crisis center.
Would any of those experiences affect your ability to remain fair and impartial? Okay. Juror number 13, did you raise your hand? Okay. Juror number 14, I believe you did.
Yeah, I would say neutral. I was pulled over for expired tabs. I would have been in spring of 24. And then I had to give a statement regarding a crime that had happened. After I'm a bartender, and he was in the bar and then left and committed a crime.
With that, do you remember what department either of those were?
The tabs would have been, I believe, either Royal Oak or Ferndale Police Department. And then it would have been Meridian Township Police for the statement I had to issue.
Okay. And would any of those experiences affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
Nope.
Okay. So you're going to hear an instruction from the judge that says that you are not to treat a police officer's testimony with any higher or lesser deference than you would any other witness. You're just to be listening to him as a normal witness. Does everyone understand that and agree to follow that instruction? Yes. Okay. I believe that's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant.
Thank you. Morning. Who here was excited when they got their summons? Anybody? Anybody mad? How many people, and raise your hand, recognize the importance of jury duty?
Seeing all hands raised.
Thank you. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the presumption of innocence. You heard Judge Aquilina explain that while we've read the charge, or she read the charges to you this morning, that the charges and the fact that Mr. Magula is not charged, or is charged with a crime, is not evidence. So at this point, knowing only what you know right now, if you had to go and vote, how would you vote? I'm gonna pull every one of you, starting with juror number 1, please.
Like vote guilty or not guilty,
Correct.
whether
If you had to go back and deliberate right now whether or not Mr. Magula was guilty or not guilty of the crime of carrying a concealed weapon, how would you vote?
not guilty.
Number 2,
Not guilty.
number 3,
Not guilty.
number 4,
Not guilty.
number 5,
Not guilty.
number 6,
Not guilty.
number 7,
Not guilty.
number 8,
Not guilty.
number 9,
Not guilty.
number 10,
Not guilty.
number 11,
Not guilty.
number 12,
Not guilty.
number 13,
Not guilty.
and 14?
Not guilty.
Okay. Who can explain or knows why you would be required to vote not guilty? Anybody? I think I saw number 5's hand go up first.
There's no evidence has been presented.
Yes. Any other reasons, number 4?
I was just gonna say there's no evidence.
Okay. And what about you, number 6?
No information at all.
Does anybody see the fact that Mr. Magula was arrested as evidence that he probably did something wrong? Nobody? No. Does anyone here believe that someone who owns or carries a gun is a criminal? No.
So can we have a showing of hands? We have to identify you, so when you say something, we have to identify who spoke. So who said the no? Juror 4. So all hands being raised, so you're all saying it despite some of you being silent. You may proceed.
Thank you. Does anyone here believe that having a gun in a vehicle is automatically illegal? No one? Okay.
Seeing no hands raised?
Who here can tell me what burden of proof means? Anybody? I think I saw number 6 hand first.
the responsibility for bringing the evidence that will change the current verdict, but
Okay. And number 11?
That's the whole innocent until proven guilty.
I can't hear you, I'm
I
sorry.
apologize. It's innocent until proven guilty.
Perfect. So the burden of proof is on the prosecutor. Everyone understand that? There's your hand is yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the burden of proof is to, has anyone ever heard of beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Anyone? Have, and the burden of proof is for the prosecutor to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, anyone have any questions about what each element of a crime means? So crimes are made up of parts, and those parts are called elements. If you had a question about whether the prosecutor had proved all of the elements, a reasonable question about whether or not the prosecutor had proved all of the elements, how do you think you would be required to vote? Anybody? Number 14?
Not guilty.
Perfect. And has everybody heard of a defendant's right to remain silent?
Yes.
Would anybody here expect, who here would expect Mr. Magola to testify? Anybody? Who here would be interested to hear what he had to say? Raise your hand. Now, what if you heard a gun was found in a vehicle? Would you expect Mr. Magola to explain how it got there? Raise your hand if yes. You would expect Mr. Magola, higher please, to explain how the gun was, if you would expect Mr. Magola to explain how the gun got in the vehicle. Raise your hand one more time.
I need to hear what.
So raise it, but I should remind.
Okay.
That was juror 9.
All right. Now, what if the defendant was invoking his right to remain silent and chose not to testify? Would you still expect him, those who raised your hands, I think it was 1, 3, 10. I don't remember who else had their hands up. 5 or 4, I'm sorry.
No, he has the right to exercise his.
Okay. Now, who here has ever forgotten something very important? Anybody? All right. Number 2, give me an example of something important you've forgotten.
I left my jury summons at home and came back for it.
I'm glad you made it safe here and home and back here again. Number 3.
I left my phone because I'll check out at Meyer and didn't, tell my partner, texted me saying that somebody else texted me.
Okay.
So,
Who else has forgotten something important? Looks like pretty much everybody. Seems about right. We'll go back to number one. Number one, what have you forgotten that's important?
I like leaving my items places, forgetting about assignments or like when they're due, things like that.
Absolutely. Number four, what about you?
Forgotten photo ID when going out to things like bars and trying to buy things that require a photo ID.
Yeah. And number five?
I'm chronically bad about using my phone.
I hear that's a sign of intelligence. Number six?
My children have various medical devices and keeping track of them is a task. So regularly having to double back to a room or a place we've just been to grab something.
Absolutely. Number seven?
Toys for one of the house and freedom no wallet.
Absolutely. Number eight?
I've left money in an ATM before when I was out with my kids, got distracted and walked away and came back and somebody collected it for me.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Number nine?
Wallet, phone.
Number 10?
With this weather, I bring my shoes, so I sometimes leave the shoes when I put on the roof.
Number 11?
I've left the kids stuff they need for school in the back of the car, and then I have to go back to school and drop it off.
Number 12?
My wallet and keys.
Yeah. Number 13?
Pretty much everything between items, appointments, kids, things, it happens.
Happens when you're a busy mom, right?
Yes.
Number 14?
Yeah, I was just gonna say my wallet and keys.
Now, who here knew that they were forgetting something at the time they were forgetting it? Anybody? Of course not. But
Sometimes I forget my glasses are up here and I'm looking all over.
what was that, number 6?
Feeling of knowing I forgot something, but not being able to.
The general feel, okay, so the general feeling of I know I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it is. But if you were to know what you were forgetting, then it wouldn't have been forgotten. Is that fair? Now, I'm gonna go down the line every time, and I want you to tell me what you think is more important. When reaching a verdict in this case, is it more important? And it could be your opinion, how you feel. If it's more important to return a verdict quickly or to return an accurate verdict. Number 1.
Accurate verdict.
Number 2.
Accurate.
3.
Accurate.
4.
Accurate.
5.
Accurate.
6.
Accurate.
7.
Accurate.
Does anybody feel that it's more important to return a fast verdict? Does anyone feel strongly that an innocent person would want to explain their right or explain their side of the story and would definitely testify? Is there anyone who believes that the defendant must prove their innocence in any way? Is there anyone who would have a hard time returning a verdict of not guilty unless they were certain that the defendant was innocent?
Seeing no hands raised.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about witness credibility. You'll hear testimony from a police officer, and potentially Mr. McCullough. Is there anyone who would view the police officer's credibility or testimony as more credible, rather, than Mr. McCullough because he is a police officer? No one?
No.
Has anyone here or a loved one ever been the victim of a gun crime? Raise your hand if yes, please. Juror number 9. I'm going to follow up with one of the questions that the prosecutor asked. Do you know any law enforcement officers?
My niece, her ex-husband works in the county sheriff.
Okay. And would that impact your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Just knowing him, would that make you view the testimony of the officer any better or any worse?
No.
Thank you. Juror number 7. I believe you said you were a gun owner, is that correct? And I missed your answer when you said whether or not you have a seatbelt.
I do not.
Thank you. No further questions, thank you.
On behalf of the people, challenges for cause.
None for cause, Your Honor.
On behalf of defendant, challenges for cause.
None for cause, Your Honor.
On behalf of the people, and both of you may do multiples if you wish. Any peremptories at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, the people would like to thank and excuse juror number 10.
Thank you. Please remember to call the jury hotline after 5 o'clock every day. Thank you for this week. On behalf of defendant, a peremptory now or not, you don't have to, but you may do multiples if you wish.
I'd like to thank and excuse juror number 12.
Thank you very much. Please remember to call the jury hotline after 5 this week. As to juror seat 10.
Pool sequence 120, juror seat 10.
As to juror seat 12.
Pool sequence 13, juror seat 12.
Thank you. On behalf of the people, when you're ready, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Juror number 10, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. So I know you stood up previously and had discussed that you worked the third shift. I just want to make sure, are you tired at all right now?
No.
Okay. And if you don't believe that you would fall asleep during trial if we go into testimony tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Now, I asked a lot of questions of all the other jurors. Are there any questions that you would have raised your hand and you answered yes to something or didn't quite understand something that I had discussed about the legal instructions?
No.
Okay. Do you own a gun?
No.
You ever served on a jury previously?
No.
Any friends or family in law enforcement?
Yes.
And in what capacity?
My uncle works cyber security for the sheriff in Holy.
Okay. Talk to him about work at all?
No.
Anything about your relationship to your uncle affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
No.
Had any interactions with the police? No. Glad to hear that. Understand that there are different elements of a crime and I have to prove each element, and that you need to follow the elements, don't add anything more or take anything away from the elements. Understand that it's beyond a reasonable doubt and not beyond all doubt.
Yeah.
Understand the difference between circumstantial and direct evidence.
Yeah.
And are you an individual that if you were to have a different opinion from everyone else in the jury and everyone was kind of forcing you to change your opinion, would you be someone to change your opinion or would you keep to the facts and logic?
I feel like if it was on facts, then I would keep it.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else you can think about that we've not discussed that may affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case? Okay, thank you. Juror number 12, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Have you been part of a jury previously?
I have not.
Okay. And how are you employed?
I'm a labor representative. for the nurses union.
Or is she part of court? Someone just leave, someone just walked out, Your Honor. I'm not sure if they were a juror or.
She's not.
Sorry. Understood. So you said you work with labor relations?
Yeah, I'm a labor representative for a nurses union.
For what?
A nurses union.
Do you have any legal background?
Yes, I am barred in the state of Maryland, but I'm not actively practicing as an attorney now.
Was there ever a time that you were practicing as a attorney?
Not in Michigan, but yes, and I was in DC.
Criminal, civil?
It was employment and labor law, so civil, but.
And how long ago was that?
I stopped, I moved here in 2022 for this job, so June, July 22.
Okay. Anything about that would affect your ability to remain fair and impartial at all?
No.
Okay. Now, I've asked a lot of questions, talked about a lot of concepts. Anything that you would have raised your hand or had some confusion about some questions that I gave?
I have some extended family in law enforcement, and I've had some interactions with police.
Okay, so the extended family in law enforcement, are they here in Michigan or are they?
No, they're in Connecticut.
They're where?
Connecticut.
Thank you. You talk to them about their job on a normal basis?
Holiday gatherings, maybe.
Okay. Would that affect your ability at all to remain fair and impartial?
No.
And you had also mentioned that you've had some interactions with the police. Positive, negative, neutral?
Mostly neutral.
Okay. Just traffic stops essentially, or?
A couple of traffic stops when I was young, like 10 years ago. Most recently, an officer came out when I hit a deer.
Okay. Were any of them with the Lansing Township Police Department?
No, the only one that was in Michigan was in whatever county is just north of here, like a little bit north of St. John's.
Okay. Anything about that would affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
No.
Okay. Juror number 10 and 12, you both understand that you're not to hold a police officer's testimony in any higher or lesser regard than you would any other witness?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And juror number 12, any reasons that we've not discussed that you believe would disqualify you or affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing additional, Your Honor.
We have an offender.
Juror number 10. No firearm?
No.
Would you be able to presume Mr. Magula innocent?
Yeah.
If you had to go vote right now, how would you vote?
Not guilty.
Would you be able to hold the people to their burden of proof? That they show that they prove each element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt?
I don't quite understand.
Would you expect the people to produce evidence that the crime was committed?
Yeah.
Would you, would you understand that a crime is made up of a couple parts, or of parts?
Yeah.
And those parts are called elements?
Yes.
Okay. And if all of those, if the people did not prove all of those elements, how would you vote?
Not guilty.
Okay. And would you make the people prove those elements beyond a reasonable doubt?
No.
You would not. You would, do you understand what beyond a reasonable doubt means?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you make them prove it beyond a reasonable doubt?
I say I do, I'm sorry.
Okay. So you would make them, the people prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. So if you had a question about whether or not one of those elements were met, how would you vote?
Can you repeat that?
If, after hearing the evidence that the people present, if you are not sure that they've shown you evidence of every element, and that evidence rises to beyond a reasonable doubt, how would you vote?
Not guilty, they don't have evidence.
And do you understand that the defendant has a right to remain silent?
Yes.
Would you expect the defendant to prove anything?
Yes.
What would you expect the defendant to prove?
If he proved how the weapon ended up in the vehicle.
You would expect him to tell you how the vehicle, or how the defendant ended, or how the gun ended up in the vehicle?
Or prove, yes.
For proof, okay. Do you understand that the defendant does not have to prove anything at all?
Yes.
Okay. But you would you still expect him to say how the gun got there?
No.
No? Which one? It's okay.
No.
No? If you had a question about how the gun got into the car, and you weren't sure how it got there, how would you vote?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Would you hold it against the defendant if he did not tell you or testify? And well, I guess, would you first, sorry, let me break that up. Would you hold it against the defendant if he did not testify?
No.
Even if you needed or wanted to know how a gun got into the vehicle?
No.
If there was a question about how the gun got into the vehicle, who would you look to prove that? And you indicated that your uncle, I believe it was, is a police officer working in, I think you said cybersecurity.
Yes.
And have you or your family or friends ever been the victim of a violent crime?
No.
If you, what would you say is more important, something that's a fast verdict or an accurate verdict? Accurate. Okay. Thank you, juror number 10. Hello, juror number 12.
Hello.
Would you be able to presume Mr. Magola innocent of the crime?
Yes.
Would you hold the people to their burden of proof?
Yes,
Do you know what the burden of proof is?
yes,
And you would require the people to prove every element of the crime was committed beyond a reasonable doubt? If you had to go vote right now, having heard no evidence, how would you vote?
not guilty.
If you had a question after hearing the evidence about whether or not, or had a reasonable doubt about whether or not the people had shown evidence to prove all of the evidence, or if there was a question about whether that had been presented, how would you vote?
Not guilty.
Would you expect the defendant to testify?
No.
Would you expect the defendant, if you heard that there was a gun in the vehicle, would you expect the defendant to explain how it got there?
No.
Like you said, you had family in law enforcement,
Yeah, extended family.
extended family in Connecticut, I guess?
Yes.
Have you, your family, or friends been the victim of a gun crime?
An acquaintance was a victim of an armed carjacking a few years ago
Okay,
in Washington DC.
okay. Do you own a gun?
I do not.
And actually, do you believe that someone who owns a gun is a criminal?
No.
Do you think they're more likely to commit a crime?
No.
Number 10, how about you? Do you believe someone who owns a gun is a criminal?
No.
Do you believe they're more likely to commit a crime?
No.
Number 10, have you ever forgotten something important?
Yes.
What?
My wallet and my house in multiple times.
Number 12, what about you?
Oh,
Number 10, in terms of testimony from a police officer, would you view the testimony of an officer more favorably, or give that officer, presume that officer is being more truthful than the defendant when you hear their testimony because he's a police officer?
I would not.
Number 12, what about you?
no, I'm not.
10 or 12, were either of you excited when you got your summons?
No.
No?
Not particularly. Mine originally came over Thanksgiving, so I had to reschedule.
Okay. Weather was better then though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true, but you have to be out of state.
Okay. Well, thank you both for being here. Thank you.
On behalf of the people for cause,
And none for cause, Your Honor.
on behalf of the defendant for cause. For cause. On behalf of the people, Crabtree.
No, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant, Crabtree.
I'd like to thank and excuse juror number 10, please.
And you may do multiples. Are there any others? You're a 10. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
No, please.
All right. Thank you. As to juror seat 10, and ma'am, remember to call the jury hotline after 5.
Pool sequence number 67, juror seat 10.
Thank you, sir. You are now juror 10. On behalf of the people, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Juror number 10, how are you doing today? Good. No, I've asked a lot of questions, the defense have asked a lot of questions. Anything that you would have raised your hand and said yes to, or any concepts that either of us explained that were confusing to you? Okay. Have you ever served with a jury previously? No. Friends or family in law enforcement? You own a gun? No. Any interactions with police at all?
Yes.
Good, bad, negative? Both good and bad? Okay. If you feel comfortable going into the bad experience you had with police officers.
Any negative interaction with the police officer? They reacted to how I did.
Okay. How long ago was that?
15 years.
Okay. Would any of your experience affect your ability to remain fair and impartial in this case?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna be calling an Officer Brownell to the stand. Would you be holding his testimony in any higher or lesser regard based on your previous experience?
Yes.
Okay. You would treat him as you would any other witness?
Yes.
Okay. You understand the concept of crimes being made of elements, and I need to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt? And not to add or take away from those elements, do the elements as they are? Agree to follow the instructions and the rules as the judge gives it to you?
Yes.
Understand there's a difference between proof beyond a reasonable doubt, not beyond all doubts. Understand the difference between direct and circumstantial evidence.
Yes.
And are you the kind of person that you had a different opinion than everyone else, and everyone was trying to push you to change your opinion so you could leave, you would change your decision that easily? Do you know any friends or family that had any history with gun violence?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been in court at all?
Yes.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
15.
Okay. Would that affect your ability to remain fair and impartial?
No, sir.
Was that criminal or civil?
Both.
Both, okay. Was that here in this county?
Yes.
Okay,
The criminal.
the criminal, not the civil. It's fair to say I was not the prosecutor that was involved in that case. And anything about that experience would affect your ability to remain fair and impartial? Okay. Anything else that we haven't discussed that you think would affect your ability?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant.
Thank you. Hello, juror number 10. Were you excited when you got your summons?
No.
Fair. And do you understand that the defendant has the right to be presumed innocent? If you had to go vote right now, how would you vote? Will you promise to hold the people to their burden of proof?
Yes.
You'll make them show evidence to every element? And if they did not, if you had a question, a reasonable question about whether all the elements have met, how would you vote? Would you be able to hold the people to their standard of proving the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt? Would you expect Mr. Mavola to testify? Would you hold it against him about if he chose not to testify? If you heard evidence that a gun was found in the car, would you expect him to explain how it got there? Would you expect the defendant to prove anything? Have you ever forgotten anything important?
Yes.
What's that?
Okay.
Understandable. Do you feel that someone who owns a gun is a criminal? Do you think people who own guns are more likely to be criminals? No. No further questions, thank you.
On behalf of the people for cause,
None for cause, Your Honor.
on behalf of the defendant for cause,
None, Your Honor.
on behalf of the people peremptory,
None, Your Honor, thank you.
on behalf of defendant peremptory.
None, Your Honor.
We have a jury. As to the rest of you, thank you very much for your time today. Please remember to call the jury hotline after 5 for the full week. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to just talk with you a few minutes. We have a lot of instructions to read tomorrow. I don't go through them and formally impanel you until tomorrow, but you are on this jury. Before you leave, please make sure that Brian has a viable phone number and email, just in case. I mean, our weather has been just nuts. So the school's been closed. Court rarely gets closed, but just in case we're closed, we can call you. And make sure you have our numbers so that if something happens like today, I get stuck behind a truck with zero movement on the highway because there was an accident, so they closed the whole highways. People had spun out. So something like that happens and you're on your way, but you're gonna be a few minutes late, call Brian. Do not Google anything about this case. Do not brush up on the law. Do not brush up on legal terminology. Do not talk to anybody about this case. What you can go home or to work or to your friends and say is, I've been picked to serve as a juror. End of story. And the reason is because if they know it's here in front of me, they can go online and say, oh yeah, we know what kind of case this is, and then give you their opinion. Their opinion is meaningless, has nothing to do with this case, and it would be a conversation about this case counsel would not know about, and they could not cross-examine you on it. So please be free of all distractions. I never know. I doubt this will be in the news, but I do never know. Their media, this is streamed. They can watch it. It's on Zoom. People watch it. I don't know everybody. People can walk in the courtroom. I don't know everybody. So the media could report on this. And so I ask you to refrain from watching the local news or reading the local news in whatever you read about, and then set it aside and catch up after this trial is over. This courtroom, I don't know if you've noticed in the time you've been here, it goes from Alaska to Florida really quickly. It's also very dry. I usually have something hot and something cold to drink. You can bring whatever you want to drink as long as it has a lid and it's non-alcoholic. Okay? And tomorrow we anticipate giving the case to you. This isn't the longest trial I've had. It's going to be relatively short. So when we conclude with the opening, closing testimony, all the questioning and all of that, we will send you to the jury room to deliberate after I have read the final jury instructions. Because it is such a short trial, you will not leave for lunch. We will be ordering lunch. So the first thing you do when you come in tomorrow is Brian has a couple of different menus you can choose from, and you'll order lunch. So hopefully when we conclude, it's there waiting for you. And then you can begin your deliberations. We're going to start hopefully by 9:15 tomorrow. Make sure that as Brian shows you how to get back into the jury room, there's a door that's between the courtrooms. You'll go through, he'll practice with you and just look up at the camera, and so we know who you are. And please take home an extra jury sticker. Sometimes they fall off clothes. You should put it on your shirt and then maybe your jacket. And the reason is people associated with this case don't know who you are. And they may inadvertently, like there's only one officer, as I understand it, testifying, but he might be walking in with a fellow officer or see someone he knows and start talking about, oh, why are you here? And then start talking about the case. So once you have that jury sticker on, it advises people, hey, don't talk to me about anything. So if somebody does that, or you begin to hear a conversation, it sounds like it might be this case, please say, you need to stop talking. I serve as a juror and I cannot hear anything. If they don't stop talking, let me know, and whatever you overhear, you need to let us know as well, so we can figure out if that needs to be, what record we need to make, and if that's a problem or not. No experiments. This is not homework class, no experiments, no research. Just stay the clean slate that you are, and we will get through this quickly. You're allowed to take notes, and I would have a lot more instructions that we'll be giving you, but now that we all know each other, we're gonna get gas, we're gonna run to Myers or do whatever everybody does around town, so we may run into you. No one means to be rude, but if we were seen at Myers or the gas station talking to you, or Costco or wherever, it might appear that we're talking about the case. So until this case is over, we cannot talk to you. And that would be everybody associated with this case. When the case is over, we can talk to you as much as you wish. Anything else I need to quickly review?
I believe that's sufficient, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. The schedule will be, as I told you, 9:15 until 4:30, 5 o'clock, probably not later than that, because we lose security. Tomorrow, if you're still deliberating, we will ask you to come in Wednesday, 9 to 5 for further deliberations, and it will go that way until the case concludes. Any questions? Yes, jury
You
three.
said we're starting at